In this video, I will discuss some problems of EMI and AC from previous year's question papers of JEE Main. This is the first question. The inductance between A and D is. Four options are given. You can pause the video and attempt the question. All the three inductors are connected in parallel. This point is at the same potential as point D because it's connected to point D via a conducting wire which is of zero resistance ideally, and this point is same as point A because it's connected to point A via a conducting wire of zero resistance. So the first inductor is connected between the points A and D, second inductor between points D and A, and third one is between points A and D. So all three inductors are connected between points A and D. So the effective inductance of a parallel combination, the reciprocal shall add. So from this we get the inductance between the points A and D as L by 3, which is 1 Henry. So the correct option is option 4. This is the next question. A conducting square loop of side L and resistance R moves in its plane with a uniform velocity v perpendicular to one of its sides. A magnetic induction B, constant in time and space, pointing perpendicular and into the plane of paper at the loop exists everywhere with half the loop outside the field as shown in the figure. The induced EMF is. You can pause and attempt this question. So this is the loop, and half of the loop is in a region where magnetic field is there perpendicular to the plane of paper, and the full thing is moving with a velocity of v, and let the region where the magnetic field is there be of size x. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF induced is minus d phi by dt, where phi is the flux linking the loop. That is equal to the magnetic field into the area in which the magnetic field is there, that is B, and the area is L into x. B is constant, it doesn't change with time. L is also constant, so it will come over the differential. So it's dx by dt, and as the loop keeps moving, the x will keep decreasing. So minus dx by dt is the velocity v. So from this we get the expression for induced EMF as BLV. Correct option is option 4. This is the next question. In a transformer, the number of turns in the primary are 140 and that in secondary are 280. If the current in primary is 4 amps, then that in secondary is. You can pause and attempt this question. So this is the primary coil of the transformer. There will be a current flowing in this coil, so which will generate a magnetic flux phi, which will link the secondary coil and will produce a EMF here. So the potential drop across this primary coil is the flux linking the rate of change of flux of one turn, that is d phi by dt, into a number of turns. Because all these turns are in series, the potential drop across one turn will get added to get the total potential difference as Np into d phi by dt. So the potential difference across the secondary terminals is d phi by dt into number of turns of the secondary coil, that's Ns. So the ratio of Vp and Bs is Np by Ns. Vp into Ip is same as Vs into Is because the current power input is same as the power output. Here we are neglecting the losses. So when the losses are neglected, the input power is same as output power. So from this we get Is by Ip as Vp by Vs, that is Np by Ns. So from this we get the current in the secondary as 2 amps. The correct option is option 2. This is the next question. The core of any transformer is laminated so as to, option 1, reduce the energy loss due to eddy currents, option 2, make it lightweight, 3, make it robust and strong, option 4, increase the secondary voltage. when the core of transformer is laminated, the amount of eddy current flowing is reduced, so the eddy losses are reduced. So the purpose of laminating the transformer core is to reduce the loss due to eddy currents. The correct option is option 1. Question number 5. Two coils are placed close to each other. The mutual inductance of the pair of coils depends upon option 1, the rate at which currents are changing in the two coils. Option 2, relative position and orientation of two coils. Option 3, materials of the wires of the coils. Option 4, current in two coils. You can pause and attempt this question. Mutual inductance is how the flux produced by one coil is linked to the second coil. So it does not depend on the current flowing in the coil or the material with which the wire is being made. But it depends on the relative position and orientation. If it is properly placed and oriented, then the coupling between the two coils will be maximum. So the mutual inductance, which is a measure of coupling between the two coils, depends on the relative position and the orientation of the coils. Correct option is option 2. This is the next question. When the current changes from plus 2 amps to minus 2 amps in 0.05 seconds, an EMF of 8 volts is induced in a coil. The coefficient of self-induction of the coil is. You can pause and attempt the question. So the current changes from 2 amps to minus 2 amps in 0.05 seconds, and that produces a induced EMF of 8 volts. So according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF is minus d phi by dt, where phi is the flux linking the coil, and the flux linking the coil is given as L into I, where L is self-inductance and I is the current flowing, and the self-inductance does not change the time, it's the property of the coil. So it will become minus L into di by dt, and current is changing from 2 to minus 2, so the changing current is minus 2 minus 2, final current minus the initial current divided by the time taken for the change, that's 0.05, and the induced EMF is 8 volts. So from this we get the self-inductance of the coil as 0.1. Correct option option 4. Let's move to the next question. A coil having n turns and resistance R ohms is connected with a galvanometer of resistance 4R ohms. This combination is moved in time t seconds from magnetic field W1 Weber to W2 Weber. The induced current in the circuit is. 4 options are given. You can pause the video and attempt the question. So a coil having n turns on of resistance R is connected to a galvanometer whose internal resistance is 4R, and the flux linking this coil is changing from W1 Weber to W2 Weber in time t. So according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF is minus d phi by dt, where phi is the flux linking the coil. The W1 and W2 are actually the magnetic flux. The unit is Weber. Unit of magnetic field is Weber per meter square. So the change of flux is W2 minus W1 in the amount of time t, and this is change in flux of a single turn. So the total change in flux is into n, where n is the number of turns, and the induced current is the EMF divided by the total resistance, which is phi R. So from this we get the induced current as minus n into W2 minus W1 divided by phi RT. The correct option is option 2. This is the next question. In a uniform magnetic field of induction B, a wire in the form of a semicircle of radius r rotates about the diameter of the circle with angular frequency omega. If the total resistance of the circuit is capital R, the mean power generated per period of rotation is. You can pause and attempt this question. So this is a wire in form of a semicircle of radius r, and there is a magnetic field perpendicular to it and is being rotated about its diameter. So the induced EMF is given as minus d phi by dt, where phi is the flux linking the coil, which is B dot A, and the angle between B and A vector is cos omega t. This angle keeps changing because of the rotation, and the angle is given as omega t. At time t equal to 0, both B and A are in the same direction, and after that it will keep changing as omega t. So derivative of cos is minus sine, so from this we get the induced EMF as BA sine omega t into omega. The power that's being generated is given as V square by R. So V is B into A is pi R square by 2, it's semicircle, into omega whole square into sine square omega t divided by R. So we have to find the mean power. So this is the instantaneous power as a function of time. So to get the mean power, we have to get the average of sine square omega t. Other things are independent of time. An average of sine square omega t is half. So from this we get the expression for average power or the mean power as B into pi R square omega whole square divided by eta. So the correct option 2. Let's move to the next question. A metal conductor of length 1 meter rotates vertically about one of its ends with angular velocity 5 radians per second. If horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is 0.2 into 10 to the minus 4 Tesla, then the EMF developed between the two ends of conductor is. You can pause and attempt this question. So this is a metal conductor which is pivoted at one point and it's being rotated vertically, and the magnetic field is in the horizontal direction. So the induced EMF is minus d phi by dt, and phi is magnetic field B into the area. So B does not change with time, so it comes out of this differential, and the area is area of the arc which it's sweeping. So the angle which is being swept is theta. So the area of that arc segment is theta by 2 pi into pi L square, where L is the length of this rod. So the only thing that's changing with time is theta. So from this we get induced EMF as B L square by 2, and d theta by dt is omega. The value of B is 0.2 into 10 to the minus 4 Tesla, L is 1, and angular speed omega is 5 radians per second. So putting these values, we get the value of induced EMF as 5 into 10 to the minus 5, which is 50 microvolts. The correct option is option 2. This is the next question. A coil of inductance 300 millihenry and resistance 2 ohms is connected to a source of voltage 2 volts. The current reaches half of its steady value in. You can pause and attempt this question. This is a standard LR circuit where L and R are in series connected to a voltage source. So the current in the LR circuit will grow as I equal to I naught into 1 minus e raised to the power minus t divided by the time constant. The time constant of LR circuit is L by R. So to find the time which it takes to reach the half of its steady value. So this value should become half. When this value becomes half, I will become I naught by 2. So this equal to half means taking natural log on both the sides, we get minus log 2 as minus t into R by L. Log 2 is 0.693 and L is 300 millihenry and resistance is 2 ohms. So from this we get the time as this into 0.3. 0.3 into 0.3 is 0.09. 0.3 into 0.04 is 0.12. 0.3 into 0.006 is 0.0018 and 0.3 into 0.0005 is 0.0015. So adding these things we get approximately as 0.1. The correct option is option 2.